All right. Hey, y'all. I am Shanti Refuge. I am going live on all of my platforms. So give me a moment. Thank you for your patience. Ooh. All right. So now I am live on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, um, TikTok as well. So thank you for joining. Welcome back. This is day 2 of my daily live sessions, Monday through Friday. What is this? No, I don't want that. Thank you. Okay, so we are talking about recognizing the signs of being stuck. So this week we are going talking about breaking free from stagnation. For those of you who are coming in, my name is Shanti Refuge. Thank you for joining. I am a certified mental health coach, mental health advocate, keynote speaker, and author of the best-selling book, Quiet as Kept. If you have not had a chance to read it, you should check it out. I do offer it in paperback, and I do have it as an ebook. And I'll get into more of that later. Thank you for joining. So, we're talking about recognizing the signs of being stuck. So what we're going to do yesterday, we talked about areas where you feel stuck, and so we're going to talk about the signs of being stuck and how they show up in your emotions, thoughts, and actions. So when I was struggling, I didn't even realize I was stuck at first, and I noticed that with my clients, they don't recognize it either, and I understand why. So even the simple tasks felt overwhelming, and I avoided hard conversations that needed to happen. I procrastinated on things that mattered and then tell myself I'll deal with them later. That was my line that I did, That was my line. I'll deal with it later. I don't have time to deal with it right now. And so in my book, Quiet as Kept, I share stories of how avoiding emotions, stay in toxic cycles, kept people and me trapped. So these symptoms are fatigue, procrastination, and lack of clarity, and they are the red flags that we cannot ignore. So, for example, there's a period where I wouldn't wake up, and I was already when I would wake up in the morning, and I would be exhausted, no matter how much sleep I got. And I wasn't prioritizing my needs, and I let the weight of unspoken emotions drag me down. And journaling became a mirror that reflected back to the things that I didn't want to face. One day I wrote, "Why am I so tired all the time?" I just wrote that question to myself in my journal, and the answer spelled out. I was carrying too much, too many unresolved emotions and responsibilities that weren't mine. Heavy on that because in 2024, that's what I did. I focused on everybody else's problems and avoided mine. And I made other people's problems my problem. And that was a big no. So, emotionally, I felt overwhelmed and irritable all the time. So, physically, my body was aching, my shoulders, all of this was tight, and I had no energy. Avoidance became my coping mechanism, but feelings and understanding them instead of let me start all over. But avoidance only made things worse. So journaling helped me name these feelings and understand them instead of running from them. In Quiet as Kept, I described how one woman journaled her way out of avoidance by listing what scared her and taking it one step at a time. And that was me. I didn't realize that I was scared. Or even if I realized it, I didn't want to admit it. So now I'm going to give you the signs that you're stuck. So pay attention. Number one, lack of motivation. You feel no excitement or energy about tasks that used to inspire you. Even small wins don't feel satisfying anymore. For example, I used to love journaling, but during my hardest times, I look at my notebook and feel nothing. And it wasn't that I didn't care, I just didn't have the energy. Lack of motivation. And another sign that you're stuck is procrastination. Putting off important tasks repeatedly, telling yourself you'll do them tomorrow, but tomorrow never comes. So, an example is I avoided responding to emails for weeks because I was scared of failing. And it wasn't the task itself, it was the fear behind it. Hey, thank you for joining. For those of you who are coming in, I'm giving you the signs of being stuck. So these are the signs that you have when that you're saying you're stuck. So the first one was lack of motivation. The second one is procrastination. The third one is feeling overwhelmed. So your to-do list feels impossible to tackle. And instead of starting, you freeze or avoid it entirely. So for example, I stare at my planner and feel paralyzed. Like I couldn't even take the first step. And writing down one small thing to do each day finally helped. So that's where the journaling comes in. So for your activity for today, I gave you one yesterday. I'm giving you one today. Hello, thank you for joining. So I want you to take a moment to write down 3 signs that you've experienced when feeling stuck. And then you can either share them in the comments or you can write them in your journal if you don't feel comfortable sharing them in the comments. So I'm looking for 3 signs that you've experienced when feeling stuck. And so to help you with that, I have a journal prompt for you. That journal prompt is, what's one area where these signs have shown up in your life? And how does it make you feel? And tomorrow we'll work on uncovering what's holding you back so we can start breaking free. So stay tuned for that. So for those of you who are just coming in, I just gave the signs that you are stuck, and I'll read them again. The first one is a lack of motivation. You feel no excitement, no energy about tasks that used to inspire you, and even small wins don't feel satisfying anymore. You procrastinate. You put off important tasks repeatedly, telling yourself you'll do them tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow, but tomorrow never comes. Also, you're feeling overwhelmed. You have a to-do list, and it feels like it's impossible for you to tackle it. And instead of starting it, you just freeze and avoid it entirely. And the solution to that is pick one thing. Write down one small thing that you can do each day. And that can help you to not avoid or feel overwhelmed. So if you're feeling lack of motivation, you're procrastinating, or feeling overwhelmed, those are the signs that you are stuck. And I am here to help you get unstuck. So I want you again to take a moment to write down 3 signs you've experienced when feeling stuck. And you can share them with me or write them in your journal. And while you're doing that, tomorrow we're going to be talking about what's holding you back. We'll get more in depth on that tomorrow. But I do want to talk more about my book, Quiet is Kept. Quiet is Kept is a book that I wrote, and this is basically the blueprint to getting unstuck. I had to go through all of these trials, all of these tribulations, all of these setbacks, even when they were caused by me. And with that, I wrote a book, and it's about my journey from childhood up until 2018 when I had a nervous breakdown. I go into detail about every situation, the parts I played, the characters. This is a great book. And I'm not just saying it because I wrote it. I am saying it because I wrote it. This is a great book. And, the feedback that I've gotten from it, for those of you who have read my book, thank you. I appreciate you so much. This is available anywhere books are sold. So, Barnes and Noble, Target, Walmart, it's available. It's available on my website. It's available on Amazon. It's available paperback and ebook. So if you prefer reading it on your Kindle or on your iPad, I do have that available. The audiobook is coming soon, and I will be reading my own book. And I will have my wife narrate. She's going to be the narrator doing the foreword and the thank yous and things like that, and adding her own personal touch to it. If you know her, you already know how that's going to work out. Hey, boo, how you doing? Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. So, hey, Kiki, Happy New Year! I'm sitting here talking about my book. I am pushing my book. Oh, yeah, I did. I just got off of a call with a mentor. She is going to mentor me and, with my business. And I'm so excited about it. So I'm doing 30 days of, talking points about being stuck and being stagnant. 2025 is a year for all of us, not just me. It is a year for all of us to thrive and whatever that looks like to you. And I am here to show you my journey and help you get through your journey. I believe in, practicing what I preach and showing, you know, I'm not just going to tell you, I'm going to show you my journey. And that's exactly what I do in Quiet is Kept. And from Quiet is Kept, I have created a box set that you see over here. If you can see it, it's my Quiet is Kept box. And this is the perfect healing tool if you are wanting to start your healing journey or wanting to learn about healing journey. If you're ready to go through your healing journey, this box is your complete set. You're going to get a signed copy of my book, Quiet is Kept. And somebody asked me to read a page. I'm going to read a page from one of my chapters in just a second. Baby, here you go right now. I'm about to send it to you right now, honey. Thank you. I love you. Do you want to leave the review on you can leave the review on my website because I'm getting a lot of Google reviews. That's great. I want to get a review of the actual book. Yes, I received it, Dr. C. Okay, and I'm about to send you Kiki. When I had a question for you while you're on there. Hey, Miss Harris. Kid, when is your did you already have your event? I saw that you were having an event. Did you have it already? Let me know if you had your event already. But I'm sending you the link right now to my website so that you can leave me a review. You did? How was it? How did it go? I wanted to attend, but I figured you had it already. Let's see. Where's mine? Oh, I'm sorry I missed it. I wanted to attend. I don't know what I was thinking. I thought it was going to be like later on, but next event that you are hosting, do you have one lined up? Let me know so that I can not only attend, but I can share it with my audience as well. Because you are doing some great things and I'm very proud of you. So, yes, we got to get this. We got to get the people into their healing. Let's see. Okay, so I am about to send you the link, Kiki. Scroll all the way to the bottom where it says write a review, and you can write a review there. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Wow. Well, when you're done processing, you know you got to go live and talk about it. I want to hear about it. The people want to know. So I was talking about the signs of getting unstuck. Ah, you laughing? I'm serious. You see, I'm going live every day in January, not every day, like Saturday and Sunday maybe, but definitely Monday through Friday. And I started on the first because first new beginning, fresh start. And I'm talking about recognizing the signs of being stuck. A lot of us, went through a lot of things, whether it was in 2024 or years prior, and we somehow found ourselves stuck there. I found myself stuck in some things, and that's why I am going live talking about them. So I'm gonna go through all of this again for those of you who are just coming in. Hey, thank you for joining. If you are not following me, please give me a follow. So I was talking about when I was going through my struggling, and I didn't even know I was struggling, but I was struggling. I didn't even realize it was me being stuck, and I avoided hard conversations. That was my main thing. I avoided hard conversations, and I avoided them for many reasons. One, for fear of rejection and fear of the person not understanding what it was I was trying to say or not doing anything about, that hard conversation. So I had to get in my journal. That's how I learned how to have those hard conversations. Nobody wants to have hard conversations. And let me give you an example of a hard conversation. I had to, when I was going through, when I first started my healing journey, hey, thank you for joining. When I first started my healing journey, I had to write down the names of the people who caused me hurt or who I needed to have a conversation with. I had to write their names down. It was 5 people, and then I had to take each person and name what it was. And of course, one was my mom, one was my dad, one was my oldest daughter, and the other one was my youngest daughter. And I chose who I wanted to address first, and I felt me, I said, okay, me talking to my dad is going to be first. I'll, talk to him. So, and I did. I had a hard conversation with him, and that was a 2 hour conversation. I really wanted to do it in person, but because of our distance, we ended up doing it over the phone. But that was a 2 hour conversation, and we cried and we apologized. We both did the crying and apologized, and we're gonna do better. And since that conversation, I think that conversation was in 2019. Me and my dad are like this now, and there was a time when we were not. Because if you've read my book, I talk about that in my book, Quiet as Kept, about how we weren't close. Another uh, person I had to have a hard conversation with was my mom. I knew I had to have that conversation in person with her, and there was no way around it. So, I invited her over to my house to have, like a spa day because I'm in my wellness room right now, and this is where I do everything. I have a massage table. I have all kind. When I clean it up, I'll show it to y'all later, but it ain't clean right now. So, well, I mean, it's not really dirty. It has my, Quiet as Kept stuff. This is where I pack my Quiet as Kept boxes. And, it has my workout stuff over here that I'm going to start back on Monday. But anyway, so I had to bring her in here and I gave her a facial and gave her a massage, got her on my shake machine. And, I had to talk to her. Hey, I brought you here because of this. And my problem is that when I know who I'm talking to, I already have their response in my head. And I was right though in this case. I told her what my issues were and what she did, what I did, and you know, and there was no apology, there was no accountability, but I knew who I was dealing with. But for me, it was for me to get it out. And there are some other conversations that I needed to have, but it was not a good time to have those conversations with those people. So guess what I did? I wrote a letter, and I wrote it and kept it to myself. And that was a freeing way to get rid of some things that were stuck in my head. And I suggest you do the same thing. If you need to have a hard conversation with someone and you feel like you cannot have that conversation with them, write it down. Write it in your journal. That way it gets out of your head. And maybe one day you can have that hard conversation. Or if it's best that you don't, then don't. And so that was one of the things that I was talking about. And then I was talking about how I was emotionally overwhelmed and irritable. And my shoulders and my neck stayed like this all the time because it was stress. You know, our body keeps the score. And I used to didn't understand what that meant, but going through this journey, your body tells on you. Your knees aching, your shoulders aching, and you're like this. It's because you're holding on to something that you need to talk about, and you're not talking about it. And it's time to talk about it. Have that conversation. Whether it's you talking to yourself, you writing in your journal, you're going to therapy, you're going to a coach, talk about it. Open your lips, open your mouth, open up your throat chakra and start talking. That is the best way to get things out and to release that tension, release that stress. Um, so again, the signs of you being stuck: lack of motivation. You're not motivated. You don't have any excitement. You don't have any energy about things that used to inspire you, used to be energetic about. It's about getting back to you and procrastinating, putting things off. Oh, I'll talk about it later. I'll talk about it later. And later never comes. That's a sign that you're stuck or feeling overwhelmed. You have things to do and you haven't addressed them because you're feeling overwhelmed. Take that big list you have and chop them down into smaller things so that you are able to handle it one task at a time. This is a journey. This is not a race. It takes time. So know that, there's no expiration date on your healing. As long as you're doing the work, your healing is going to continue. My suggestion is you not do it alone. And when I say alone, I mean alone, not talking to anyone, not reaching out. There's plenty of resources out here, free and not free. Thank you, baby. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'll be posting that. So I was going back over the signs of Fatima. Hey, boo, hey. I was going over the signs of feeling stuck. Happy New Year to those of you who are just joining. Just giving some signs about being stuck and how it's time for you to get unstuck. We are, and I'm talking to grown people. I'm not talking to, kids. I'm talking to adults here. We are all adults. Stop making excuses. Stop putting it off. Stop procrastinating. Face it. Face your shit so you can heal from it. That's the only way you're going to heal from it. Or you don't want to keep carrying all this guilt, burdens, and all this negative stuff with you. You're saying new year, new you, but how can it be if you're not making any changes? This is the time to start making changes in your life, positive changes. You don't want to be the same person you were in 2024. I would hope not. I don't care how good you think you are, you can always do better. You can always be better. My goal for my not only myself but my clients, 1% better every day. 1%. If you're doing one thing good every day, one different thing, same thing, whatever, you are growing. Constant growth is a great thing. You don't want to stay stagnant because you're not going anywhere. You don't know everything. There's so much to learn, and you can't do it on your own. Listen to podcasts. I recommend Fatima's podcast. I recommend I'm gonna put a recommendation on my podcast in here because I have a few. But Fatima, she has a great podcast. I was a guest on her podcast one time, and I've listened to a few of her podcasts. And go follow her, Fatima.bay, BEY_. Go follow her. Go listen to her. She know what she's talking about. I know what I'm talking about too. So you follow both of us. Follow us. All right, y'all. I am done with my rant for today. Remember, your activity is to no problem, baby. Take a moment to write down 3 signs that you've experienced when you're feeling stuck, and then share them. Write them down. Write down those 3 moments. And the prompt that you can answer is, what's one area where these signs have shown up in your life, and how does it make you feel? And then tomorrow we're going to work on uncovering what's holding you back so we can start breaking free. I want you to break free. 2025 is your year. Yes, there you go. FatimaBay.com/podcast. Subscribe, go listen. She know what she's talking about. She know what she's doing. I promise you. I don't mess with nobody who ain't about it. She is about it. So go listen. All right, y'all. That is all. Thank you for joining me on this Thursday. I'm gonna keep on to say Tuesday. Today feels like a Tuesday. Yep. Thank you. And I will be posting these questions later. And if you want to respond to them, you can always DM me or email me at info@shantirefugejournals.com. I'm here to help. I'm here to help you get unstuck. But you have to do the work. I can provide the tools, but in the end, you're responsible for your own healing and your own growth. Take care. Until next time, we're going to be breaking free in 2025, honey. Promise you that. See y'all later. Bye, y'all. All right, that was me signing off of Instagram. And now I am signing off on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you. Have a great rest of your Thursday.